be the leader of your household crashing out like that?
Well, also, Allan is not going to be in a situation where he's being filmed for Married at First Sight again, where he marries a stranger and that his friend is going to sleep. He's not going to be in this situation again. So, like, let's put that into play. And just because someone has one bad moment of him breaking a picture or a glass or something like that doesn't mean he's taking these extreme behaviors or he's going to be abusive or something like that as well.
He did this back to back. He punched and kicked the cabinets, and then the next day he went and he burned. He did everything so methodically. He broke only her mug, the Mrs. mug. He burned her portion of the vows because they had it on both sides, and he left his vows. Like, he was very specific in how he was doing things. That man wasn't thinking correctly, wasn't thinking evenly. He was being very specific how he wanted to crash out, and for us to say, oh, he wouldn't be recorded. Maybe that's the thing that saved everything, saved everybody, and saved the whole situation, was that he was being recorded. That's why I applauded Juan for actually telling him, like, hey, chill out, bro, because you can't delete this.
Well, also, he also made it clear that he didn't want to speak to her because he does have some level of self-control not to put himself in the same environment as her. He said, I'm not ready to speak to her. That shows a sign of strength. You know, I'm strength's perspective. He did want to separate himself and not be around her until he was ready, until he had control over his emotions. Like I said, it wasn't my style to do. It was very childish and immature. But to put this label of like danger on Allan in this situation, I think it's just a little too much.
I will give you that I think production made it seem like it was overnight Easton. I think Allan, when he left that night, he went there, but I will give that grace. I think production made it seem like he went overnight and then he went back to the place and then did that. I think that was a production manipulation of time, but gotcha. I'm not sure.
Yeah. All right. That's fair. That's fair. Again, I hope that he has done the work and will stop pedestalizing whoever he's dating, because I think that's the big issue with Allan, and the nice guy syndrome has got to stop. It's got to stop, and it's gonna get it's out there in the field. I'm just trying to do my job of expecting more from us men and stop using these tactics because it don't work very well and it's not fruitful for a long-term relationship.
Well, we definitely want Allan to work on his self-esteem and to get with women who want to be with him and stuff like that. And we want him to work on better handling his emotion. Maybe he's learned something from this. Maybe he's went to therapy and he's working on how to show up as a better person for himself in relationships first, so then he can be a better partner or spouse to someone else. But I just don't, for me, just because I've crashed out before and I've had that reputation of being the wild, extreme one because I had a moment because somebody pissed me off. So you can change and you can you can do better the next time just because you have one bad moment and no one got hurt. It shouldn't be an automatic label for you for forever.
I'm not characterizing him as this forever. I'm just saying that his track record of like dating a cheater, like having one person who's a cheater is already like a stretch. Like, I mean, statistically, people aren't getting cheated like at an astronomical rate. Granted, again, anecdotal, but I'm just saying statistically, it's not like 90% of the people that you meet in life that you date are going to be full on, I know this person is cheater. This boy Allan said he had 2 of them and back to back. This is alarming to me, brother. But again, we've kind of gone back and forth with Allan. I'll give him some grace, but at 36 years old, I hope that he pulls it together in terms of not crashing out, because brother, you're supposed to be the leader of the family. You can't be crashing out. And then most importantly, you're going to be that gullible. Like, he had a real estate agent said they got beachfront property in Oklahoma. Like, if that's your husband, you going to expect him to take that deal? No. I just don't think, like, I know everybody likes his nice gestures, but that's Thomas. Y'all thinking Thomas is Allan, and that's not. They're completely different.
Easton, I'm gonna have to give you your own words. Stretch before you reach. Okay, that last part. I mean, okay.
Fair.
I don't want to beat a dead horse, but as we all know, I do have a migraine today, so I'm really not going to, drag this out. I just want to know, are y'all finished telling people how to manage their emotions, how to react to being cheated on, how to fold themselves in a pretzel so you feel better how they behave? Just let me know if y'all are done.
Nope, and man, got
Not
her
done.
day coming.
Not
Her
done.
day is coming here soon.
Well, just let me know when you're finished. Give me just a little heads up in the private chat, and then I'll be free to speak. Because what I won't do is engage in some ridiculous back and forth about how Allan needs to be nice and needs to just be so sweet and kind after his whole wife cheated on him with a guy that lives 2 apartments down with a Fraggle Rock ponytail that he knows.
Brother, he could have left.
Is this called respectability
No, he could
politics?
not. Like, why do you guys just get on my nerves? Because no, he can't leave. They're in a contractual agreement. Everybody can't leave. There'll be no show. We'll be talking to ourselves about nothing. Now
So
this is crashing out.
So
correct?
this is where I
This
check
is me crashing out because I'm sick of y'all making a point about nothing that ain't no point. Let that man live. His whole wife cheated on him. He been spending thousands of dollars trying to make himself, right for her. And y'all want to write a dissertation about how he just needs to be nice. He's the leader of the household. This Negro just got cheated on by his wife, not his girlfriend, not his next door neighbor that he sees sometimes on Wednesdays, his whole wife that he's been trying to make a process out. And Phil, I'm sorry.
That man ain't got a kid.
So nice and really regulating your yelling. And here I am yelling. So I'm going to calm myself down and self-regulate. But y'all have literally been stressing me the hell out with this unnecessary conversation about policing Allan reacting to being treated. And with that one roll, I'm going to pull a Seaway card. I'm not triggered. Triggered means that you identify with something that has happened and it makes you upset. To the best of my knowledge in all of my relationships, including the marriage that I had for 5 years, I was never, ever cheated on. But I have something called empathy. So I'm able to see when someone else is hurting, and then I identify with it. So I'm empathizing. Maybe I'm annoyed. I'm agitated. I just need you to use better words because sometimes we take these words that we think apply and they misapply. I'm a words guy. Triggered, I'm not triggered. Annoyed, agitated, frustrated, and I'll even give you I'm crashing out a little bit, but I'm not triggered. Maybe you're triggering me by misusing the word. Yeah, you are doing that. You're triggering me because you're misusing the word, and I have a problem when people misuse words. So that's how I'm triggered. So, okay, thank you.
That's right, big bro.
I find it interesting.
No, you should have been like, "Hey, yo, mama."
No, I find it interesting that Shawn has all this empathy for David, or not for Allan, but not for David after he was getting mistreated by Madison. But hey,
by Michelle. He was being mistreated by Michelle because she called him a basement dweller.
A lot of empathy being thrown around, but David ain't get no empathy. Okay.
I want to be very clear. I never had empathy for David, and I don't know who Shawn was crashing out with, but I certainly have empathy for Allan. Oh, it was Elsa. Okay. I certainly have empathy for him. I said he can go cry in the car. So I understand that he needs to go and cry.
Well, I'm just glad that Shawn crashed out because as women, if we get to yelling on this platform, people are going to be telling police and me. But the fact that, Shawn, I appreciate you for yelling because you did it because, Lord, don't let me yell. People going to get to tone police. And so I appreciate when men step in the gap and they say what needs to be said because Lord have mercy, I wasn't going to be allowed to do so. So thank you, Shawn. We appreciate you.
And so
Shawn, we are not
He can only
allowed.
shout at the men. He can't shout at women. He can only shout at the men. That's
it's
the
cool
thing.
when they do
if he was
it,
shouting at women, I would
out.
have slapped him up. He knows. Okay, I'm joking. I wouldn't have slapped him up.
Well, I had empathy for David.
Don't get carried away. Don't you get carried away now.
I'm going to go in a timeout. I'm going to go send a step, guys.
For everyone. So don't get carried. Don't let the, well, I'm not even going to go there because somebody going to be like, well, you ain't light skinned. Don't let the niceness fool you, okay? Don't let the
I hear you, bro.
You know, then
I'm gonna sit down, big bro.
They'll get out the paper bag and they get to dictating that. So look.
You know, they're going to manage your skin tone in a second. You're not really light skinned anyway. So, all right. So I'm not even going to go there with that.
Shawn, I find it interesting. Shawn, that a couple weeks ago you said, somebody's behavior towards you shouldn't be, reason for how you behave. So Allan's behavior is acceptable because of what was done to him within his marriage.
Are we talking about the burning of the cups and the letters, or are we talking about something else?
Yeah, because I'm trying to understand the cross-contamination of evidence. Because the burning of the cups, I said that didn't have nothing to do with nobody being cheated on by their wife with somebody that they know and has looked in their face. So what does that have to do with his reaction and me saying how people treat you, you shouldn't be reacting? Just help me understand the connection.
You were saying that David's cheating, okay? He shouldn't, it's no excuse how Michelle treated him for his cheating. Am I correct?
Elsa, were you on the live last night? Or were
No, I was not.
Because Kojo, so you missed it. Because Kojo did the same thing to me, and it just infuriated me. So I'm going to breathe.
Because it's a real question.
But what I'm going to say is those two things have nothing to do with each other. And Phil, thank you for reminding me because my headache is raging. So this is what it is. Because David's not being treated well in his marriage, that doesn't give him a license to commit adultery and break his wedding vows. Allan can react to being cheated on in a way which we all may not like or we all may not choose. Those are two very disparate things. They're like all the way over here. I don't like the way I'm being treated. My wife's being rude to me. I get a pass to go cheat with somebody else's wife. No, those things don't go together. That's like apples and watermelons. They're just so different.
But what are we talking about? What reaction? Can we narrow the scope? What reaction are we talking about? We talking about him burning them cups in that letter?
Or is it all of it?
Okay, because if we're talking about him burning the cups in the letter, and we can rewind the tapes. I wish Kojo had a quick way to rewind the tapes. I think Shawn and other people have already clocked Allan for being passive aggressive from the beginning. Him being passive aggressive is just the way he expresses his anger. So that's just how he expresses pain and anger. He's been doing it before, and the cup burning and the stuff like that is passive aggressive. But we can't dictate how people express their pain and anger. He does it in a passive aggressive way. MM does too. Some people do it in an aggressive way, right?
For anything.
Yeah, I think that's where that's what they're.
That's the biggest point.
The conversation.
The question is what?
You can't just do anything. Yeah, there has to be a limit to what you can do in retaliation based upon how you feel.
Okay, so
I think
he didn't do anything extreme.
So he played. So
I don't mind if he reacted.
Just
I'm just
saying,
punching the cabinet.
Just to that. Yeah, just to that.
Punching the cabinet.
If somebody cheated on you, played in your face, act like they
I've never punched a cabinet. I've never punched a cabinet.
Okay.
That's a house that you don't own.
I never
This ain't
burned
your
nothing.
house.
Wait,
Yeah.
so y'all
and
think that was
burning something in
extreme?
someone's house, in the house that you're actually in with the person with, even though he's gonna leave, he's burning the items in the household that the person's actually in. That's kind of scary behavior. Just saying that part is scary. I don't mind him being angry. If he went to do something else wherever he was, cool. But punching a cabinet and then burning stuff in the household, right? If this is not a TV show and someone comes and tell you that story, right? We'll look at that. Okay, we get it that you might deserve some of the behavior, how angry he is, but we'd have to be a little bit concerned about your passive aggressive behavior and where it can actually lead to. I think that's what people are kind of saying. It's where it can lead to. This kind of behavior. I've never done that. I've been cheated on before, and I'm telling you, I've never done it before. Do you know what I'm saying to you? And if I lived in the same house with you, me burning stuff in the house can be scary behavior. You know what I'm saying to you? It can be scary, regardless of whether you cheat or not. It can be classed as very scary behavior. Me burning items in the house, and that's that kind of stuff. So that's what I was saying. It's not necessarily. I mean, it could be considered criminal depending on how you look at it. But I think he can act however he wants to act. But we're just saying that it's probably a bit the way he did it. Maybe it could be considered some type of way.
If somebody was burning cups and letters and things like that.
You know what time it is. Time it is.